Hello there and welcome to another video. Now before I begin, if you have any questions, leave it in the comment section below. If you want more videos on the stock market, please feel free to subscribe. Now today I thought I would just share my little story on how I started investing in the stock market when I was about 20 years, so that's almost 5 years ago when I was in college. This is just going to be a short story. It's not a spectacular one. This is not a crazy story, guys. We're not talking about hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. I don't drive a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. This is just going to be an ordinary story of how I started investing in this on a small scale when I was about 20 years old. And I think this is going to be a typical story which I think is gonna maybe you find it useful, maybe you find it inspirational, what do I know, but this is how I got to where I am today. Now the first thing I did from when I was about 15-16 years old was something very clever, which I think most people should do, which is get a summer job. This is really the way to make money when you're really young. Every summer, go get a job, earn a couple of thousands of dollars. Whether you're in school or in college, you usually get some time off during summers or spring, so try and get a job for a couple of months. That can really help you out. Now with the money I earned in my summer job, I didn't spend any of it. I saved all of it. Now this is going to be very different from person to person. Now I personally don't spend a lot of money. I don't travel, I didn't do a lot of partying, I don't buy a lot of clothing. What I did was mostly just play video games and work out, so I didn't spend a lot of money, so I just saved it all. And that really adds up over time, guys. If you have a summer job every year from when you're 15-16 years old, you're making $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 every summer, and you save it all up until you're 20 or something. That ends up being a lot of money in the long run. So I just saved all of it. Now when I was about 19, 20, I started just learning about the stock market. Before you start invest, you really have to learn about what you're about to invest in. And I just thought, the stock market was a good place for my money. So I watched documentaries, read a lot of articles, just looked around for different kinds of ways to invest in the stock market. Learned a lot about, the difference between passive and active investing, how much money you can expect to earn through the stock market, how much money you can expect to lose if things goes badly, stuff like this, which is very important. Now, when I decided to start investing, I started with ETFs. This is a very safe option if you want to start investing in the stock market. They're basically stock funds that are really safe, really cheap, and it's just really the way to go if you want to get a safe, diversified stock portfolio to begin with. So I listened to a lot of people about passive investing, and I ended up with going with Vanguard ETFs, which just to me seemed like the safest and best option. And from there on, guys, I just held my stocks. I just held everything, I didn't sell, and I did really well. Now, I was lucky enough to get in about 2012, 2013, which was a very good time to get invested in the stock market. So I was a bit lucky, but you need to be a bit lucky sometimes. So my ETFs turned out really great. It just turned into more money, and this has allowed me to buy an apartment and to never have to worry about any my economy or any bills or anything. So get a summer job, don't spend all the money on just a bunch of fun stuff and iPhones. Try and put some of it aside, and when you get a bit older and you can control your own finances and you become a little bit smarter and a little bit more patient, get invested, buy some ETFs, buy some index funds, and you'll do great in the long run. Now, I hope you enjoyed this little short story. It wasn't much of a story, just a couple of bullet points. And yeah, join me for the next video. If you want to know more about the stock market or investing in it, you can visit investingforall.net.